Hello everyone, peace of Christ to all. This is a Christian Prince with you, and today we have a very important topic. Now, we heard a lot about what it's called the amazing science of the Quran. And for sure, the Quran is being told to us by Muhammad. So somehow you can say the amazing science of the Prophet. And even the Quran says whatever Muhammad he say is an inspiration, even normal talk. And he is protected from saying stupid things. And this is why actually me myself, after reading the Quran, I was really astonished when I saw the Muslim amazing studies for the Quran proving to us with no question that the Quran is a book of science. And based on this, actually, me myself, I did make my own study and research, and I found out that the Muslim says there's no lies. There's no lies whatsoever. The Quran is full of science. This is my book. It's called Quran and Science in Depth. Feel free to read it, and you will see with no question how beautiful the science of the Quran. Some people who read my book, they were laughing very much from happiness because of the science. So I advise you to read it, especially if you're a Muslim, because you would love it and you will appreciate Allah more and you will believe in Allah more. So what is the topic today we have? Simply, we want to speak about something unique. I would try actually to speak more and more about the unique speeches of Muhammad. You know, Muhammad is not a normal person. We have to admit and we have to say. So what we will talk about today is the scientific miracles of the Prophet Muhammad saying. You know, this man, because he is unique, he's not like me and you. This guy, when he speak jewels, jewelries, gold, silver. Every word he say, it's so beautiful. Actually, most of you, when you will hear the coming statement of the Prophet, peace upon him, you will cry from the beauty and the wisdom. Before I start, I want to ask you, what do you think will happen if you go to the mosque and you pray behind the imam? You know, the imam is the guy who pray in the mosque in the front of the Muslims. The Muslims in the mosque, they have a leader, and the leader is the one who stands right in the front of all the Muslims, and the Muslims, they are behind him. Simply they have to follow his steps, which means he is the first to do things and they are the second to follow, which means they cannot go before him. So if he bow, then they bow, but they cannot bow before him. If he stand up, they stand up, but they cannot stand up before him. So the imam is the one who lead the prayer and the Muslims have to follow. Just to give you an example what I'm talking about, I will show you an image in the screen so you can understand maybe better what I am trying to say. This is the Muslims' prayer, and the guy who is wearing the army uniform, I don't know which country is that. Supposedly they are saying US Navy. That will be a disaster if this is true, if this is USA Army Navy and there's a Muslim praying there. If this is true, this is really a disaster. How we can trust the Navy to have that much Muslims inside? That's what they are saying, you know. I hope this is not true. However, because as you know, we cannot trust Muslims to be inside the army or navy. They cannot be trusted. And we can prove it, you know, like Nidal Hassan and the guy who threw the grenade in the army of Iraq. You know, we have many, you know, and Muhammad the sniper, etc. However, This guy in the front, as you see in the screen in front of you, he is the one who lead the prayer. So those people, they are obviously they are ignorant, because everyone is moving different way, because none of them knows how to pray. And obviously the one who is reading the prayer himself do not know how to pray. Okay? I can tell it from the way he stand. However, supposedly those people, they should follow after him, not before him, which means if he bow down, they bow down after. If he stand up, they stand up after. If he raise his head, then they raise their head. So the question I'm asking you now is the following. If a Muslim, he decide to raise his head before the Imam, the one who is leading the prayer, before the Imam who lead the prayer, what is the penalty for that? I mean, it's rejected. He should not do that. So what is going to happen to him if he raises his head before the Imam? Is it going to be A, the Imam would beat him up? Or is going to be B, Allah will not accept it, which means the prayer, and you have to redo it again, which means the prayer? Or is going to be C, Muslims should kick you out of the mosque? Which one do you think? I will give you a little bit of time to think about it. Now, for sure, Muslims didn't do things without following the Prophet. So if the Prophet said nothing about this, there's no penalty and there's no problem. And if the Prophet says something about it, that's mean you have to fear what the Prophet said. So what is the consequence of you raising your head before the Imam? I will show you an image on the screen, and maybe that will help you to understand what really is going to happen to you. It's hard to believe. According to the Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, if you raise your head before the Imam, Allah will turn your head to a head and your face to a face of a donkey. And by the way, I know a lot of Muslims, they used to have a normal face, and after going to the mosque and doing such a mistake, Allah, he turned their face and their head into a very beautiful face of a donkey as a punishment, as a penalty. Which means none of the three options we choose is really what will happen to you if you are a Muslim and if you decide to raise your head before the Imam. Now, maybe some of you will say, well, can't be true. There is no way the Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him. You know, Prophet Muhammad is a prophet of peace. Like, don't, you know, you see today there's the Muslims, they killed more than 40 people in Belgium. You know, it's not a big deal, man. This is a peace. It's peace. You saw nothing yet of the peace of Islam and the wisdom of Islam and the amazing beauty of Islam. This is nothing. Just wait. It's coming more and more. Now, let us go and see the reference, because some Muslims, they might say, this guy is lying to you. This is not true. It is a fabrication. Is it? Let us go and see and check with our own eyes. The hadith is in front of you, and this is Sahih al-Bukhari. The Prophet said, is it he who raises his head before the Imam afraid that Allah may transform his head into that of a donkey, or his figure face into that of a donkey? I am really astonished with this amazing discovery, because it is true. If you go in the Middle East, you see a lot of donkeys. Unbelievable, man. Like, if you don't believe me, I don't know, like, how I can make you believe me, because it's hard. You know, you guys are infidels, and you might not believe it, but it is a fact. If you go in the Middle East, you know, like, how you can ignore such, you know, such a knowledge and such a truth? It's true. And the Prophet, there is no way he will know such a thing by his own, like, this is must be coming from God. You know, for me, each time I look as an example at the head of Ahmadinejad, I see something makes sense there. I mean, seriously, look at the picture in the right and the picture in the left. I think what happened to this guy, that one day he rose his head before the Imam, and Allah made his face look like a face of a donkey. Now, some Muslims, they might say, this is not a true. Allah, I mean, this is a weak hadith. Is it? Oh, Muslims, it's not. This is a very sahih hadith. Do you see it? I hope the screen is clear for you. You see it? The grade is sahih. And actually, I'm going to post the link under the video so people, they can read it and they can see it. You know, sometimes you ask yourself, the Prophet of Allah, may Allah pray on him and salute him, when he come with such conclusion and such a knowledge, isn't it this is alone a proof that this is a prophet of God? How Muhammad he will come with such a thing? There's no way. This is cannot be from a human being. This is must be from a very high divine God who thought about it extremely deep, beyond your imagination and your donkey brain. Muslims, I really appreciate your prophet wisdom, and I'm so thankful that your prophet is dead. And I feel that you are lucky, because with a prophet like this, you can get your plastic surgery done for your head for free. Like, there is a hadith, it says, if you raise your head exactly with the Imam, Allah will make your face like someone handsome, or someone she is good looking. How come Allah will make such a thing? Like, what if somebody raised his head before the Imam? So what's wrong? How we will know even that he raised his head or not if everybody his head is down? How you can find out? Obviously, this religion is really amazing, beautiful religion full of science, and this is what I wanted to share with you today. Again, if you have any question, feel free to contact me. You see my address in the screen. Feel free to contact me, and if there is a video you'd like me to make, I would be happy to do it if it's worth it. And if you like to help us in our mission by donation, please feel free, and thank you for not donating. Christ is Lord. Islam is for stupid, made by a stupid. I'm into that.